Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another bizarre case for you. And again, I apologize for sounding weird. I'm still sick. This is not my regular voice, but I didn't want to let that stop me. So let's get into this. So today we're talking about the bizarre disappearance of Brandon Lawson. So Brandon was a 26-year-old man from San Angelo, Texas. He was a father of 4 and he had a wife named Ladessa. Brandon was described as hardworking, a great father, great husband, just very funny and charming, a real good guy, just a really good family man. However, things take a turn for the worse. So, following an argument with his wife, Brandon wanted to have some space just to get away and clear his head, and I can certainly understand this. You know, being in a relationship with someone, living with someone, and if you feel like you're stressed, sometimes you just want to go for a few minutes, and this is what Brandon did. However, around this time, it was about midnight, so about 45 minutes after Brandon had left to clear his head, he had phoned his brother Kyle that he ran out of gas and that he was stuck on this dirt road pretty much in the middle of nowhere. And now I will try to insert a clip of this. So anyone that has ever lived in the middle of nowhere in the South, if you're near woods, you know, or a farm or the outback, you know exactly how this is. I've been to places like this many times. There's no lights on the street, there's no traffic, it's just desolate. I mean desolate. So he was in the middle of nowhere and he ran out of gas. So about 10 minutes after his phone call with his brother Kyle, Brandon phoned 911, and this is where things get strange. I mean, they just get straight up bizarre. So this is what happened. In the 911 call, Brandon is saying in a very frantic voice, he sounds very panicked. He says, "Please hurry, I ran into somebody, I accidentally ran into someone, we're not talking to them." He says, they got the first guy, and in the background when he says this, you can hear a loud bang. Now, a lot of people speculate that this sounds like a gunshot, and to me, it kind of does, you know, being from the South myself. I know that pretty much everybody has guns, so this would not be something far-fetched to think. So Brandon says, you know, they got the first guy. When dispatch says, "Do you need an ambulance? Is anybody hurt?" you can hear somebody in a quiet voice say, "Yeah," and then Brandon comes in and says, No, I need the cops. Please hurry." So then the phone call goes silent, and Brandon doesn't speak again. In the background, you can hear what sounds like footsteps running. So this is pretty much what the phone call consists of. It's very quick, it's very confusing, you know, what is going on. Even the dispatch is kind of like, okay, he says he needs help, but what does he need help for? And in this call, the service was going in and out. Again, he's in the middle of nowhere. The service is never good, and you're lucky if you can even make a phone call. So he received a phone call, and Brandon said, "I'm in the field, I'm about 10 minutes up the road, and I'm bleeding." As far as we know, this is all that he said, and then the phone call is dropped from the lack of service. And this is the last time that Brandon is seen or heard from again by anybody. So something happened in this time. I mean, he claims he's bleeding, he claims he's hiding somewhere in the field. You know, what happened? It's just bizarre. So a few minutes later, another 911 call is made, but not by Brandon. It's by a passerby who is on this road and noticed Brandon's truck. And his truck was parked kind of crooked, so half in the middle of the road and half off of the road. And the trucker thought this was weird, so he made a phone call. But Brandon was not in his truck or near it anywhere. He's nowhere. Nobody can find him. Sadly, time goes by. Weeks turn into months, and Brandon is not seen from or heard from ever again. He has no activity on his bank account. His phone is off because they cannot ping his location. There's nothing. It's like he disappeared like that into thin air. You know, where is he? The police searched 2,500 acres in the surrounding areas and they found nothing. Not a single piece of evidence to suggest Brandon is there or was there. There was nothing. His keys and his wallet were missing, but again, Brandon made a phone call, so we assume that his cell phone is with him. His family had hired their own private investigators. They poured so much money into finding Brandon. They had dogs, they had specialists, professionals looking everywhere, and nothing. Where is Brandon? Clearly something happened to him. I mean, he called 911 himself. It's just bizarre. I mean, how does somebody, a grown man, disappear so quickly? And why was he bleeding? You know, he was obviously hurt. Somebody did this to him. So let's get into the theories. There are a few, and I don't agree with all the theories, but I will mention them because, again, this is a theory and it is talked about. So theory number one, and to me this is the most obvious. So theory one is that he met foul play. That maybe when he says he ran into somebody, this in turn means that you cross paths with somebody, that you approach someone. So did he run into someone or something that he wasn't supposed to see? I mean, this makes the most sense, you know? Maybe he saw something illegal or something and they got rid of him so that he could not tell anybody about what he saw. This wouldn't be the first time that this happened. I mean, this has happened in other cases, so it doesn't seem too far-fetched. Theory two, and I don't agree with it. I'm not saying this is what happened, it's just a theory. So this theory is that Brandon was maybe under the influence of drugs or alcohol and that he was maybe imagining the whole thing. Again, there's no evidence to support this, but it is a theory. People say, you know, there's no evidence to suggest foul play, but he sounded frantic in the phone call. We just don't know. These are pretty much the only theories which are talked about. There is another one. People think it's possible that Brandon could have ran away and started a new life, and maybe this was some cover-up. But, you know, I really don't believe that. He had 4 children, 4 young children, and a wife. You just don't up and leave that. And from both sides of the family, they said that Brandon really loved his children and would never do this, you know. This, I don't know, I don't think this is what happened, but it's a theory. So this is all of the evidence which this case has. I mean, this is it, an abandoned truck and a phone call. So it's like, where do you go with this information? So what do you guys think? Do you think it's foul play, suicide? Was he under the influence? Let me know what you think. Either way, I really feel so bad for his family, and it's just heartbreaking. I can't imagine, you know, my husband and father of 4 kids, just, it's just awful, it's horrible. So let me know what you guys think, and if you really like this video and this series which I'm doing, let me know. Give it a thumbs up, and I will be back with another bizarre video in a few days. So thank you guys for watching. I will link everything in the description, so if you have any information or if you know anything, I will also link the 911 call in the description. So again, thank you for watching.